Hello and welcome to the APMA podcast. It's your boy Lozzy back again with a solo one because me and Jordan currently, at the time of this going out, we will be at Centre Parcs celebrating our good friend Dan's birthday. He's having like a birthday celebration at Centre Parcs. That's what he's decided he wants to do. So yeah, we've gone along with him. So, yeah, just see what that's like, I guess. I hope you're having a good time, wherever you're listening from or watching from. If you're watching it whilst you're driving, please don't pull over. Preferably, if you're just listening to it and you just realise it's another solo pod and you just put your car in a ditch, I do apologise. I hope you have a better day from here on in. But, yeah, we'll be at Centre Parcs when this goes out. I'm not going to drag Centre Parcs, right? But I kind of am. There is a point to this podcast. Just let you know, we will be looking at upcoming films and possibly games if we've got enough time in 2024, like the most anticipated games and films coming out in the year. But we'll start with films and we'll go from there. But first, back to me dragging Centre Parcs a bit. Now, look, Centre Parcs ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. It's a lot like a glorified log cabin in a woods, right? At least the one where I am closest to is, and that's the one we're going to, in Thetford. Right, so you do pay quite a bit for the privilege of living in a lodge for 5 nights, whatever it is, 4 nights. I can't remember how long we're going for. So you pay a lot, and you're like, okay, cool. What does that give me access to apart from the lodge? And the truth is, nothing. I know. Look, Dan, if you ever listen to this, not podcast Dan, mine and Jordan's friend Dan. If you ever watch this, just know I went because I love you, man. I do. Congrats on getting to 30. Back in the day, you would have been heralded as one of the elders. Not so much now. You think you're old, but you're really not in the grand scheme of things. But you still feel old. Right? I love you. But Centre Parcs, right? It's a great choice. Lovely place. Trees. And that's it. More trees. Smaller trees. A lot of trees in Thetford. We have been there before. Obviously, one of the camping special we did, that was in Thetford Forest. Not in the same... It's in the same ballpark as where we're going, but not in exactly the same woods. But anyway, what I'm getting at is you get access to fuck all when you're there, even though you've paid for the accommodation or paid to be in the park, whatever. Me and Dan will even admit this, I hope, unless I just imagined this. Me and Dan said to each other, should we go to the gym? They must have a gym there, because we go to the gym quite often, especially over the weekends. Should we just have maybe 1 or 2 sessions there? Go get a pump on. People still say that? I don't know. But anyway, looking at the facilities they have there, and I didn't even think about even knowing what Centre Parcs is like. I didn't even fathom for a second that I might have to pay to use the gym. But you do. The gym costs 15 fucking quid for 2 hours. I'll say that again for the people at the back. 15 quid for 2 hours. Can you get any more legally robbed than that? Who the fuck is paying 15 quid? That's literally more, not at the moment, but when I started my gym membership last year, it was more than the entire month for a 2-hour slot in Centre Parcs gym. And I guarantee you the fucking gym is a treadmill, a fucking cross trainer, maybe a bike, 4 or 5 sets of free weights, and maybe a barbell. Maybe. Maybe it's unfounded. I don't know what their gym's like. Maybe it's like a super duper high tech, loads of equipment, people paying 15 quid for 2 hours sessions every day. You know, maybe it's the most popular gym going. But anyway, me and Dan looked at the availability for when we are going. It's not available. So part of me thinks it's just a room with a treadmill in it. Because if you can't, bearing in mind we're going in mid-January, I wouldn't say that's an absolute hotbed of people going in that sort of time. But anyway, they haven't got that available. Cool, whatever. There's loads of stuff you can do. There's like climbing and stuff, and rent bikes, rent this, rent that. Everything you rent, right? So, one last thing on Centre Parcs. Sorry, we're like 6-7 minutes in, and I'm still talking about Centre Parcs. Look, I'm happy to be going, but also at the same time, I feel like I'm being ripped the fuck off. I don't know what the conversation was at the time, but a few of us, we like to game. We like to game. Let's not beat around the bush. We like to game. Nothing wrong with that, right? So, I don't know how it transpired, but I'm assuming at one point in time, along a conversation about Centre Parcs, someone had asked, what do they have in the cabins? Which we're going in. We're going into a cabin that does, as far as I know, have a hot tub. Because that's something that Dan basically pushed for from the start. And it's like, yeah, he's 30. It's his birthday. Let's just go with it. And I'm happy about having a hot tub. That's cool. I rate it. I do. But in terms of the entertainment in the evenings, right? Or, you know, if we just feel like having a chill session, just like, is there anything we can do inside the cabin? Right? What about if it's really cold? What about if it's just like pissing it down and then we can't do any activities outside? What about that? Just on the eventuality that we fancy doing something inside the cabin. Apparently, at one point in time, on the table was the chance that there was going to be a games console of some description in the cabin at Centre Parcs that we were going to. Now, I've joined the conversation late and just seen that our friend Dan's, his partner, has confirmed via calling them up and asking them. They've said that they have actually removed all games consoles from the cabins. Sorry. Please don't tell me you got to pay for that shit now. Please. Don't tell me you got to pay for that shit. Anyway, enough about Centre Parcs. I'm happy to be going there, Dan. Honestly, I am. It's going to be great. Going to be fantastic. I am not going to resent being in that place where I feel like I am being mugged off every day. But I'm going to be enjoying it. I'm going to be happy to be there. Congratulations on making 30. Will you make 40? Who knows? At this rate, if you're going to Centre Parcs, I hope not. No, look, I'm joking. Look, we're going to have a good time. Anyway, on to the main topic of this this actual podcast. I do apologise. 8 minutes, 9 minutes have been spent talking about Centre Parcs. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you can tell it's not sponsored. So, there's a lot of films and quite a few games as well in 2024 I'm looking forward to. Obviously, it being films and games can always be cancelled or fucking delayed, especially with games. But as of the time of recording this, which is a week before this going public and live, they were scheduled to come out for this year. So if you hear anything in the contrary, just bearing in mind that I filmed this a week before, alright? Fucking shut up if these games or films have been cancelled or moved to 2025. Look, at the time, it was correct. So I'm just going to go through a few. Now, these are like the most, I'd say, popular. So don't be mad if your fucking game or film hasn't been mentioned, alright? I'm sorry, it's just not deemed by IMDb to be popular. Fucking have a go at them, not me. Anyway, first one on the list, I've got to mention it because it is, no matter how much I don't want it to be, it is an iconic film being remade, but slightly differently. That is Mean Girls. Apparently, Mean Girls is going to be kind of a sort of musical of types. There's another film on this list that I'm absolutely gutted is going to be, or rumoured to be, a musical. We'll get into that later. Mean Girls, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck about. So if you're looking forward to the new Mean Girls film, enjoy it. I hope it fulfills every bit of nostalgia for you and it entertains you and all the rest of it. But for me, I'd throw it in the fucking bin. Not bothered. Don't care. And the fact that it might be a musical, or there's hints that it'll be a musical, makes it even worse. I don't like musicals. Look, just get this out of the way. Can't stand them. Don't understand. Every bit of sincerity and drama and like edge to a scene is completely taken away when someone starts breaking into like a song and dance. Can't be dealing with it. Can't be dealing with it. It's like someone's like in a film in a scene. It's like, oh, someone like who they love has just died in front of them, and he's like crying. He's gone. He's gone. They just look at the camera and go, "He's gone. He's gone." Jazz hands like, oh, that's not. No, we're not doing that. No, that's completely taken me out. Nah, like full immersion lost. Like, I cannot give a fuck from here on in what that character's got to say. But anyway, that's my take on musicals. Look, there's going to be people who go, what about this one? It's different because of this, that, and this. Don't know why they're Cockney. But as a rule, I don't like musicals. All right? So just accept it. We'll move on. The First Omen, another one, which is quite highly anticipated. I'm guessing that's got something to do with The Omen. So yeah. Is it a prequel? Who gives a fuck? I don't know. There'll be people out there who give a fuck. There will be. The one that I'm fucking absolutely buzzing my tits off for, looking forward to, is Dune Part 2. Ah! Sorry, I literally just flamed in my throat that because I was that excited. I don't know if you heard that. I think that was my my watch telling me that it's fully charged. But it vibrated very, like, with some ferocity. Anyway, Dune Part 2. I really think this film's going to be good. No, I've only seen 2 trailers for it. I think it was meant to come out, was it last year in November? And it got pushed back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was going to be coming out in November. Got pushed back to 2024. And then got pushed forward like a month. Or pushed forward a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I don't know. Look, it's coming out in 2024 in March, I think it is. Sometime in March. I will be buzzing my tits off to see that. I loved the first one. Everything came together then in that film. I was like, it's just a film for me. I think the group of actors in that film are really good. The fact that they've added Florence Pugh. Oh, I do love a bit of Florence Pugh. And Austin Butler as well. he's going to be in the film. Part 2, anyway. But everything just came together in that that first one. Like the score from Hans Zimmer. Wow, give me some more of that. I hope he's doing. I'm pretty sure he'll be doing the score on this one. But yeah, very good film. If you like, I wouldn't say it was too sci-fi, but it's got an element of sci-fi in it. Obviously, I'd say it's more action adventure, maybe / drama, than sci-fi. But I did enjoy it a lot. I thought the first one was really good. Probably one of the best films of that year, easily. And I don't even know, was that 2022 that came out? Very good. Enjoyed it a lot. So I'm looking forward to that one. Big time. Big time. Next one on the list that I'm looking at here is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I haven't watched the Mad Max with Tom Hardy in it, so I don't really know much about it, other than that it's another film in the Mad Max franchise. If you're looking forward to that, it's got that Anya Taylor-Joy, who is in what was it, The Menu, and also what was that fucking chess one called? It's a fucking show on something Gambit. I can't remember, but it was in like a chess drama thing, which is actually pretty cool. The Menu is also very good. But yeah, if you're interested in Mad Max, give that a look. I don't know when that's coming out. It says 2024. I don't know when. It also says it's in post-production, which would mean, I'd imagine, not too far away. This next one, oh God, I'm going to be destroyed if this is true. Just because, like, even if they make it, like, as good as they fucking possibly can, I'm not going to enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. It's the second Joker film. I really dislike the title. I'm going to attempt to pronounce this. Folie à deux. Now, deux, as far as I'm aware, is spelled D-E-U-X. Means two in French. Do I like the fact that they've put French in the title? No. Not right. It's not racist. It's not. I just don't read English very well. So how the fuck am I going to read French? Look, Jacqueline. That's not his name. How'd you say his name? Joaquin. Such a weird name. Joaquin Phoenix returns as the Joker. Cool. Apparently, Lady Gaga is in it and plays Harley Quinn, we think. Directed again by Todd Phillips, who directed the first one. A thing that's going to fuck it off the edge for me, it's rumoured to be a musical. Why? I get it. People from a standpoint, you bring someone like Lady Gaga in, you're like, let's utilise this bitch. But to be fair, she has acted in, like, I don't know if I've ever watched her in a film, but I watched her in American Horror Story. She's not fucking like, do you know what I mean? This isn't like her first gig. Let's make it a musical fucking thing. But I feel like you don't bring Lady Gaga in and then not make it a musical. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if they already planned to make it a musical, bringing Lady Gaga in makes sense. But anyway, I really hope it's not. Just from a standpoint that I won't enjoy if it is. I just won't. There's not a single musical that I can think of that I have enjoyed at all. Like, as soon as they start doing the and the jazz hands, I'm gone. I'm fucking gone. I'm done. I ain't paying attention anymore because I just lose all interest in it. Yeah, so Joker, it says me. I mean, this is all down to IMDb. They've put crime, drama, and musical. Those are the genres. I don't like it. I don't like it. Problem is, it's in post production as well, so filming has ceased. Don't like that. Don't like it. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I won't watch. If it is confirmed as a musical, I won't watch it. Just to let anyone who gives a fuck know. Yeah, Joker. The second Joker coming out sometime this year. A sequel from the 2019 one, so it's a sequel. Another sequel, you'd imagine, is Gladiator 2. Gonna be honest, I don't know if I've watched the first one. I do like Ridley Scott's films, most of them. So it is a bit baffling how I don't remember the first one or haven't watched it. But yeah. Yeah, apparently it follows the son of Maximus. So yeah. Enjoy that. I would be very surprised if that film is bad, considering how well received and how loved the first one is. I feel like Ridley would have to do something really horrifically wrong to fuck Gladiator 2 up. But it's possible. An interesting thing about Ridley Scott is that I've heard him talk about films before and how he kind of like directs and sets up a film. He storyboards everything. So he knows like exactly what's shot, exactly what's, sort of feeling and look he wants for the scene before they even attempt to start filming, which I know a lot of people do, to a certain extent, but he's like a really good artist. So he storyboards everything and he knows how the shot's going to look before the camera even comes out, which I respect. But yeah, Gladiator 2, it's there. It's going to be coming. This next one's big one. A lot of people I know like this character. And they're excited for this. Deadpool 3 that's coming out this year. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds reprising the character of Deadpool. Also got Wolverine in it to some extent. They didn't really hide it, did they? I mean, they put it in full view. But yeah, I don't know to what extent Wolverine's in it. I mean, if you look at the artwork for Deadpool 3, it's literally got like claw marks through it. So who knows? Is it just going to be a cameo? Probably not. But I'm looking forward to it because I do like the Deadpool films. I think Deadpool. Now, I don't want Marvel fans to be annoyed at me for this, but I feel like we can all agree that ever since the end, like ever since after what? Endgame, there's been more misses than hits. I think that's the most kind thing I can say. And I think Deadpool, for me, although it wasn't part of the same set of films, whatever, but there was also in the middle of the phase, there was some films that I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling this. Like Doctor Strange. The Doctor Strange films. Don't really care. Don't really care. Don't really care. I mean, there's a couple of the Thor films. There's some misses in that phase, but I'd say after Endgame, it became more misses than hits. You might disagree with me. I mean, you could be wrong, but you can disagree with me. That's fine. But Deadpool, I think, was one of the films that I was like, every film seemed cookie cutter the same. Like, have this amount of comedy in it, 12A, max 15, no like, no risque jokes, just all like, you know, buddy comedy jokes, taking the piss out of each other, blah blah blah. Whereas Deadpool was obviously from the get-go, and the second one, just the same, had the same ethos from the first film to the second, where it's like, we're going to make a mature, funny, every other word is shit film. That's literally. And I'm glad, because I think it's refreshing to have that sort of film in your repertoire. Oh, I said a French word. I'm a pro. Look, Deadpool 3, if you're not looking forward to it, you probably don't like Deadpool. You don't like Deadpool if you're not looking forward to it. Godzilla? Kong, the New Empire? I don't know what the fuck they're smoking, whoever are making these fucking ideas for films. But is Godzilla X Kong? I know there's already been a Godzilla X Kong film, right? I know that is. Does that mean they're now collabing? Like, is that what it means? I mean, I think I watched like one Godzilla film from the latest batch. Now they're doing like the collaboration. It's like Godzilla and Kong, they team up. And in extended cut, they fuck. Mate, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Like, what are they smoking? I don't know. It's a weird... Maybe it's cool, maybe it's not. If you watched the first, you know, Godzilla collaboration with Kong film, let us know what it was like. Was it good? Was it alright? Was it shit? Yeah, that's coming out this year, apparently. It says it gives you a brief description of what the plot is going to be. For this film, Godzilla X Kong New Empire, or the New Empire, it just says plot kept under wraps. And I suspect that's because they haven't decided yet. I don't even understand how a film like that works. What, so a massive ape or gorilla fights a lizard dinosaur laser coming out of his asshole and mouth character. Yeah, that's about it. Cool. What's the narrative? Does it need one? No, it doesn't. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Cool, that's a mouthful. That's coming. I don't even remember the last Kingdom or Planet of the Apes film I watched. Kingdom. It's called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes has gone through several films. Several. Am I right in thinking that Shia LaBeouf was in one of those films? I might be wrong. Let us know down in the comments. I might be wrong. But yeah, if you're into the Planet of the Apes films, I'm sure that's one you'll be looking out for coming out this year. Madam Web. Yeah, that's coming out. Beetlejuice 2. A lot of people excited for Beetlejuice 2. It's been a long time, and it's like the late 80s. I'm pretty sure Beetlejuice came out. Can't say it again. This is a follow-up to the comedy. The 1988. And it's about... all it says in the plot is it's about a ghost who's recruited to help haunt a house. There you go. Directed by Tim Burton. So, yeah. Interested in he said it again. Interested in that film. It comes out this year. A franchise that has well and truly gone through the fucking floor is Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was one of those, you know, I want to say, it wasn't like the tippy top, but it was one of those ones you go, oh, yeah, the films are genuinely quite cool. Like, the original films are pretty cool. And now it's just, you know, oh, there's another Ghostbusters film. Cool. It's got Paul Rudd in it. That's probably the only plus I'd say. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. The plot for that is when the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters, new and old, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. That sounds shit, doesn't it? But I'll probably have a couple of laughs, won't it? That'll be alright. That'll be alright, boy, won't it? That'll be alright. Apparently, there's a Borderlands film coming out. Just saying on the list. Borderlands. That's all it says. Who's in it? Jack Black, Kevin Hart, directed by Eli Roth. Okay. And Kate Blanchett. A feature film based on the popular video game set on the abandoned fictional planet of Pandora where people search for a mysterious relic. Cool. If it keeps the same same ethos or same feeling as the games, like the jokey kind of zany comedy, I feel like that could do well. And I didn't play every single Borderlands, but I played 2 of them. I'd feel like I'd give it a watch. Oh, it's not going to be like up there with like Dune, you know what I mean? It's not going to be near that, but I'm interested in it. I'm interested in it. What other ones we got here? These are the most anticipated films. Like, again, if your film that you're really psyched and really hyped about isn't on the list, I do apologise. I do apologise. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. I must admit, I haven't watched any of the Spider-Verse films. So yeah, but apparently they're really good. Apparently they are really good, and a lot of people have said that to me. I just, you know what I mean? I can't. I'm not gonna say because it's animated, but I feel like Spider-Man is probably one of my least favourite superheroes. I ain't got time for him, you know. I like the older films. I even like the modern, like Tom Holland. I like pretty much all the Tom Holland films. The last, like, Spider-Man film was cool. Like, it was cool. Merging back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, which I haven't seen the Amazing Spider-Man films. So, you can come at me all you want for that. I just don't, Spider-Man's not my jam. I'll watch it because it's Spider-Man and it's like a superhero film, and they're generally quite good, mostly. But I do need to watch the Spider-Verse films, the animations. Apparently very good, but again, that's coming out this year. The plot, if you want to know anything about the plot, not a lot to be honest on this one. After leaving off from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the story continues. Basically, just put fuck all, because that's it. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Apparently that's got Idris Elba in it. Enjoy that. Plot under wraps. I've not seen 1 or 2. But yeah, if you're into Sonic, that's the one for you. Despicable Me 4. Fucking hell. Look, it's up someone's street, but it's not mine. It just no. Oh, I've just spotted something that I didn't know was actually on the way. Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys 4. I don't even think I saw Bad Boys 3. I saw Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. Loved those films. But yeah, the 4th installment of the Bad Boys film series, plot unknown. Again, just say fuck all. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just put plot, nothing. No one really fucking knows. But yeah, Bad Boys 4 apparently coming this year. I what? What? Hang on. Wait. Oh, I'm getting confused. Right? This is the problem when you've got game and film going at the same time. Right, so Mortal Kombat 2 is coming out this year, and that's the film, not the game, because Mortal Kombat 1 came out last year, I want to say. Might be wrong. But yeah, that's... I didn't watch the film when it came out, the Mortal Kombat 1 when it came out. So maybe it was good, I don't know. People said it was alright who I've spoken to. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 maybe coming out this year. What else we got on this list? Oh yeah, the Formula 1 racing film. The one that's been basically like heavily involved with Brad Pitt. Now I do like Formula 1. And we've hearing like bits and pieces all through the season, which is now finished, of like Brad Pitt filming a couple of scenes here and there for this Formula 1 film. I'd be really interested to see how good it is, because I got a feeling it's going to be shit. I don't know why. I've got nothing to back that up. All I'm saying is I think it's going to be shit. That's it. Moving on. Moving on. What else we got here? Rush Hour 4. That just says announced. So not some of these say, like next to the genre underneath the film's title, they say if they're in post-production, if they're filming, if they've completed it and it's just waiting for release, or it just says announced. So that is one potentially that could be pushed back. I've heard fucking nothing from Rush Hour 4. They are quite funny though, I suppose. Looking back, have they aged well? We don't know. Cruella 2. Did anyone need a sequel? Well, you're getting one. That's in pre-production, so it hasn't started filming yet. So it might not come out this year. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 4. That cannot be the title. I'm guessing that's just the working title. Again, that just says announced. So if you like those films, there's another one coming at some point. Apparently there's a Metal Gear Solid film coming out. Okay, interesting. Doesn't say, it just says pre-production, so it hasn't started filming yet. It's got Oscar Isaac, apparently, starring in it. I got time for that. Fuck it, let's go. But yeah, those are the sort of films. There's loads more on this list, but like they're ones that I just don't give a fuck about, and I haven't said anything about. Like, sorry, look, there's a Sesame Street film coming out. Look, if you're a nonce, that's fine, in your own time. But apparently, it's got Bo Burnham in it, so it is what it is. I'm not saying he's a nonce, by the way. I really like Bo Burnham. He's funny. But it's just films that I'm not interested in. Like Lilo and Stitch, a live action remake, because Disney have just got this absolute addiction to making live action remakes of classic animated films. They're doing that. There's a couple other I haven't mentioned. I'm pretty sure there's another Kung Fu Panda coming out at some point. Venom 3, I did miss that one. I would be interested in seeing that. There's no plot for that, just says filming. What else? The Garfield movie, animated. Does anyone give a fuck? Probably someone out there loves a bit of Garfield. Yeah, Inside Out 2. Another animated film. Yeah, so there's plenty of stuff out there that I'd be interested in. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4, that is coming out this year. So yeah, if you're interested in those, I'm absolutely intrigued. Like, I must admit, I've absolutely no interest in going to see it, but the Godzilla featuring Kong, the New Empire, that's done me. That has done me. How does that even work? Look, just let us know down in the comments, please. Right, for the last 15 minutes or so, I'll talk about some games I'm interested in coming up this year. Obviously, last year was a bit of a resurgence for gaming. I felt like there was a few good games that came out last year, or that kind of gained popularity last year. But yeah, if you're interested, these are some of the games that these are in month order of release. So apparently, according to this, I've heard nothing about this, but apparently, Last of Us Part 2 remastered is coming out for PS5. I don't know if that's true or not. This is on GameSpot, so blame them if it's not accurate. It looks like it is. There, Last of Us Part 2 remastered pre-orders available ahead of January release. And also, to switch it back to TV for a second, that Caitlin Dever, I think her name is, she's been confirmed to play Abby in season 2 of The Last of Us. If you know who Abby is, I wouldn't say she's a very well-liked character in the universe, but it's not even a universe. In the series, and she's in one game. She single-handedly ruined. That character single-handedly ruined that game's narrative, from my opinion. The game does look cool. The actual mechanics and the gameplay looks fucking sick, but I just couldn't stick to the story. Once I knew what happens, I'm I'm not interested. But anyway, if you are, it's coming out in January. Doesn't say when. It says January 19th, which is very soon. By the time this goes up, that will be tomorrow, apparently. So when this goes out, enjoy. A few other ones coming out around then. You've got apparently a Prince of Persia game. No fucking nothing about that. Tekken 8 is coming out at the end of January. I do like a bit of Tekken every now and again. One I want to talk about in February that's meant to be coming out is Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. That looks like an absolute fucking mess of a game. I'd be absolutely 100% astounded if that comes out and isn't a pile of shit. It's unfortunate because it's made by a studio that I'm pretty sure it's made by Rocksteady. I want to say Rocksteady. I might be wrong. Rocksteady did the Batman Arkham games. They did the Batman Arkham games, which were fucking great. Arkham Knight, Arkham City, and Arkham Asylum, they are so good. Yeah, they are making it. They're making the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They are. So, look, they got talent. They got previous on making some good superhero games. if you can really call Batman a superhero. Will it be good? Who fucking knows? Who knows? It looks like I've seen like screenshots and some gameplay, older gameplay. It must have been, like said, from like last year, that may have changed since, going back to the drawing board or changing stuff. I don't know, but I've seen some screenshots of just the HUD, and it looks awful. It looks horrifically bad, but it is what it is. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's a piece of shit. I don't want to just shit on games, but that's what I'm going to be doing, it feels like. Skull and Bones. That game has been in development for best part of 10 years, and no one really knows what the fuck it is. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like takes... Assassin's Creed Black Flag was the first game that I remember in the Assassin's Creed franchise doing this, but you could like basically be a pirate. So you could have ship combat, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I think it was a nice like side piece to the game. They then decided at that point, or just after that, after the popularity and people saying, "Oh, it's brilliant, it's fantastic, look, you could be a pirate. Let's fucking make a ship battling game." So that's what they did, and then 8-10 years down the line, they're bringing out Skull and Bones, which I've seen people play a little bit of like a beta test for that, or a little bit of a hands-on. I'm not really sure that's going to do well. It might do, but it just doesn't look great. It doesn't look. It's not one of. It's one of those games that's like in between. It doesn't look very pretty, and it also doesn't look that fun. It's just like in the middle. It might be quite good. Let us know if you play it. Obviously, you'll have to let us know in the future because it is coming out in February. But yeah, if you're hyped for it, I hope it's good for you. I really do. I really do think it's going to be one of those games, though, that isn't good. But it is what it is. Alone in the Dark. I don't know if Alone in the Dark is another game in that story, or whether it's just a remake of Alone in the Dark. Or remaster, as they like to call it. Is it a remaster? I don't know. I don't know. It just says Alone in the Dark. Apparently it's a reboot, so maybe it is a separate game. Maybe it's not a remaster, maybe it is a separate game. Fair play. I hope it's not dog shit. At some point, I don't know when it's coming out. This is the problem with games. Like, everyone gives a rough date, like 2024, because not every studio, but a lot of the time, what happens is you'll get a studio say, right, this game's going to come out then, and then they push it back, and then they push it back, and then they push it back. So it's pointless putting out release dates, really, because they're always just going to push back. But I know that Starfield. I know I've spoken about Starfield a lot on this channel, especially if you're a VIP member. Great segue into $4.99 a month. Do you know what I mean? Get extra podcasts every other 2 weeks. Just saying. You would have heard me talk about Starfield a lot. Shattered Space, the DLC for Starfield, I believe should be coming out in the first 6 months of this year. I can't see it anywhere on this list, probably because it hasn't got a release date as such yet, and all these things have. For example, Skull and Bones is meant to come out on the 16th of February. Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remastered is coming out on the 14th of February. So, Valentine's Day. That's a nice little drop in it. So yeah, I'd be loving to see what they've done with the butler in Tomb Raider, and if you can still lock him in the fridge. If you can't, or the freezer, sorry, if you can't lock him in there, I'll be fuming. Probably one of the best memories I've got in gaming is realising that you could do that. That's it. Yeah, Alone in the Dark, sorry, that comes out in March. I can't remember if I said that or not. Yeah, if you're interested in Destiny, I mean, is anyone? Destiny 2, The Final Shape, which must be a DLC for that never-ending fucking game. Yeah, that's coming out on June the 4th. On every console known to man apart from Nintendo. Sorry, look. It is what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of nailed on release dates. But there's a lot of games that haven't been nailed down. One that sticks out for me is Avowed. Kind of it looked still fun, but it didn't look what I thought it was going to look like when they released the footage from it last year at the summer showcase for Xbox. If you hadn't realised, it's on Xbox and PC coming out sometime this year. Avowed, it's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of gave me Skyrim vibes before knowing what it was going to look like. And then when they did, like, kind of announce it in terms of bringing out footage of it, it looked a little bit more like, I don't know, it looked a little bit more like Dragon Age mixed with Skyrim. But that's complete. It's not really this, because it was still like a first-person view, and obviously you don't have that in Dragon Age. The only Dragon Age I've played is Inquisition, which was a really good one. I think a lot of people agree on that. But Avowed, it's kind of one of those games you're not really too sure what you're gonna get from it. It looked fun though. Look, you can do obviously some sort of magic or spells. It's from the Pillars of Eternity universe. I've never played anything from that at all. Don't know much about it, but it looks cool. I'm interested. Oh, pardon me. I'm interested to see what that's going to be like. But yeah, that doesn't have a release date. It's coming out this year. What else we got here? City Skylines 2. It's a nice city building game. A lot of people like that in the I want to say the city building community. Is that, can I sound more of a fucking geek? No, it's quite a it's, I think, quite a look forward to, because EA absolutely fucked the shit out of SimCity, which previous to City Skylines was like the go-to city building game. But they fucked it, and now Cities Skylines is the one. The I wouldn't say undisputed king, but a very popular one. There's loads of stuff on here that I haven't even heard of. Like Death Stranding. It just says Death Stranding. iOS. Does that mean Death Stranding is coming to iOS? I guess so, in some fucked up way. You got Final Fantasy games. What is that? Is that Final Fantasy 16? Or is that Final Fantasy 14? I hate Roman numerals. One thing that I'm glad we never fucking took. Well, we did take, but we have adapted, and it is better. Is the way we display numbers. Because when you are having to do maths to tell the time or the date, like, why are you doing this to yourselves? So X is 10, right? Obviously, what looks like an I is 1, a capital I is 1, and then a V is 5. But you don't just write. Right, so if you're trying to write the number 16 or the number 14 in Roman numerals, it's X. And I don't know, this is the problem, right? It's XIV. Does that mean it's 10 plus 1 plus 5, or does that mean it's 10 minus 1 plus 5? Because then it could be different numbers. This is what I mean. This is why they collapsed as a civilization. In my opinion, it's because they were too busy, whilst they were getting pillaged, trying to tell each other what the fuck's going on. Oh, at XIV, we are going to be apparently savaged by, oh, they're already here. Fuck. And there's like, do you know what I mean? What's the point? What's the point? Fucking absolute waste of time. Oh, tell you what. Tell you fucking what. I think that might actually be why the Romans fell. Other people just going, right, we'll be there at 6 o'clock. What is that? Is that the I plus V, or is that V plus I, or is that shit? Or is that V plus 2? Is that V plus 2 I's then minus 1 I? Fuck. It's like, just be there at 6, you knob. It's just a confusing time. Back to the game, sorry. Killing Floor 3. That's a good time. Imagine, like, Nazi zombies, but you don't kill zombies. But you also listen to heavy metal music. That's Killing Floor. It's pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't say it's going to be a game that you spend your entire life on, but it is a very fun game, especially if you play it with some friends. Loads of other games on this list like that don't have a announcement in terms of the date that it's going to come out. What the fuck is that? Oof. Silent Hill 2. I don't know if that's a remake, I'm assuming. Silent Hill 2. It just says PS5 and PC. But yeah, there's a lot of the Star Wars, quite a few Star Wars games that are on this list, but I have no idea. Like, most of them are fucking iOS and Android games, like mobile games. And I just cannot be fucked. The Outlaws one, that's cool, looks cool. Star Wars Outlaws, that's going to be coming out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S and PC. So yeah, that is a positive. I do think that kind of didn't get announced, but you saw like gameplay footage of that, and it was one of those ones that came out just at the right time, because I feel like the whole thing was Starfield about like the travel not being seamless from the surface of the planet to space. I feel like that really bogged down the conversation around Starfield. And when the trailer for Star Wars Outlaws came out in the run-up to Starfield's announcement, in the run-up to Starfield's release, sorry, they took full advantage of the fact that they do have a seamless, you going from the ground on a planet to space. And when I say seamless, it's not like, I mean, you got into the ship on this demo of the game, and then you went through a fuck ton thick amount of cloud, like with a TI double C. THI double C, sorry. Tick. tick clouds, my fam. So it was seamless, but also you know exactly what's going on. Like everything in terms of the loading of a new environment is happening when you can see fuck all, when you're in the clouds. So the change of environment from the ground of the planet, you go into the clouds, that disappears, and then new stuff is loaded in. And when that's complete, the clouds disappear and you're in space, which is like, it seems seamless. It's not, but it is. But the argument is, could that have been done for Starfield? Which I didn't personally give a fuck. I think that's more of a gimmick. There's something you're going to completely forget within an hour. Within like 4 or 5 times of doing it, you're done. That's it. But I'm excited for that game. I think it's going to be, looks like quite a cool game. I hope that it doesn't fall into the same trap of Ubisoft games, like most Ubisoft games do, like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed are two of the worst offenders, especially in the last like 4 or 5 years. It's just like everything is fucking go to this stronghold or go to this base and overtake it, overthrow. It's like, okay, cool. Okay, how many of them have we got to do? Oh no, there's like 100. Oh, what? Do they vary? Not really. There's like 4 or 5 different enemies. There'll be some vehicles of some description, or different like a boss or something. They'll have a different weakness, or yeah, the environments look quite different on the outside, but on the inside they're basically the same. I hope it doesn't fall into that trap. It being a Star Wars game, I do fear that it will have to go into that category, because once you start basically traveling via a spaceship, you can go to like far corners of the galaxy and fucking shit. So you need to be able to vary the environments, both outdoors and indoors, to make it not feel the same. And also what you're doing on each planet has to be different. Well, they can't just give you the same shit they gave you in Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. Like, oh, go and overtake this fucking stronghold. Oh, okay, cool. Right, why? Just because we told you to. You fucking twat. Do it. Yeah, it's going to have to be... I do fear that that's going to be the situation, but there's quite a bit of scope, I think, especially using the fucking Star Wars universe, fuck me, to have something different. And I do like the fact that it will be... not necessarily the whole game is going to be about bounty hunting, but you choose to be, obviously, outlaw means that I hope you'll be able to do some, outlaw shit, preferably. Anything else on this list that takes my fancy that I want to talk about? Can't see anything on here. No. Obviously, there's a lot of games that, like that the Hellblade game. I can't remember what it's called. The new Hellblade game. I would assume that's coming out this year. Obviously, I think next year everyone's going to want to stay well the fuck away from Grand Theft Auto 5 if it comes out next year, because there's still part of me thinks it won't. But they did show quite a lot of the game in terms of the variation of the environments in the trailer for GTA 5, so maybe. But yeah, if you're releasing the game next year, you're going to want to stay away from that. That's going to just fucking blow everything out of the water for months, either side, I think, personally. But yeah. So there's a few games there. Well, obviously concentrate a bit more on the films on this one, but yeah, I hope you're looking forward to some of the films on there. Look, if you are looking forward to a film that I have shit on, just know that as long as you enjoy it, that's the most important point. Cool. I need to hydrate. As long as you enjoy it, that's the most important point. But just know, if you're going to watch Kung Fu Panda 4, I don't see the point in living. I don't get it. If you're going to see Mean Girls, power to you. But again, what's the point? I'd say I'm going to be so depressed if Joker comes out. The new Joker film comes out and is a musical, because I just can't do it. But don't let that ruin your chance of being entertained by any of the films or the games that I've mentioned. So yeah, hope you enjoy them wherever you are and wherever you're watching them from in the future, obviously. And I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Hopefully we will be back next week with a full team. That would be nice. It's a bit of a weird time of the year, like January, obviously Dan being back from Mexico, and yeah, it's just do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just is what it is. But I want to do an episode for you guys nonetheless. I enjoy doing the episodes, so it's an enjoyable thing for me to do, and I hope you guys enjoy watching and listening at home. Hope you're having a good time wherever you're listening or watching from, and we'll see you in the next one. Up the APMA. Bye bye for now.